Hello Sim Gamers, we're back with some more Let's Play Sailwind. In between last episode and this one, I got my dhow out of the way. I loaded up an additional lantern and hooked and did a little bit of rearranging. But basically, I'll give you a tour of the ship we're ready to go with in just a bit. We are in position now to actually begin loading up some missions. So between these two missions, the quickest of which is due in 11 days, that might be a bit of a stretch for us. But this navigation challenge should be totally doable with the gear that we have. We have 12 copper to Gold Rock City, or to Dragon Cliffs, and 4 silk. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this loaded on and then get back with you guys in a bit. Alright, I've intentionally loaded my copper to this way to start with, the first 5 crates, to give you an idea of how much room I actually have. So I'll be able to go 10 deep with copper. And I want the heaviest load to be pretty much right here where I'm standing. So a stacked up copper will be here, which means I have these 4 places to stack up silk. So let's go ahead and get our silk started. And load that up. And hopefully we can get out of here before sunset. World, Silk, Dragon Cliffs, yes please. Alright, we are fully loaded up with 12 crates of copper, 4 crates of silk. I've put the heaviest portion of it pretty much right here. Silk and stuff is loaded up on top of the copper up front. We have 3 additional crates of hooks, boxes of hooks in addition to the one I have in back. 2 additional crates of goat cheese, just in case I start falling behind on that. Over here we've got some additional bottles and my cup. Back here, we've got 3 additional barrels of water where my cot is. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off these lights down here. I do want to be conserving my lighting because I only have so many backups and stuff, but it is getting dark enough to warrant having the deck lighting on. And let's get ourselves ready to get underway. Wind check. We are running before the wind. And I am taking a swim. Running before the wind, so wheel cranked to starboard. Let out both the sheet and the halyard. Not necessarily in that order, this is the sheet. Here's the halyard. As soon as I'd pull this, which is getting very dark and hard to see, pull that don't be getting too mad at me. All right. And we are underway. I'm gonna go ahead and lock this off. I know that with this wind as it currently is, we're gonna need to start hauling our sail around. I think that'll work. All right, going this direction, I'm relatively confident I will be clear of any obstacles. Okay, and we are on our way. Additional supplies. Let's take a tour around the ship. So in the aft section here, I have my primary box of hooks for the fishing pole. I have a broom, some goat cheese in case my catch isn't keeping up with my food nutrition for the day. A little extra slice of bread because I could afford it. Water here. We've got 3 more down below. We've got 2 more goat cheese down below. I don't have a stove. I couldn't afford to put a stove on this ship, so I do have to be cognizant of that. Enough lanterns to light up the deck at night, although I don't have a lot of backups. The idea is I can grab one of these lanterns, take it down below with me, hop into my cot for bed, do any inspections I need to have. I do have an extra lantern hook and a backup lantern there. So we should have enough lighting for this trip. And it looks like we are clear of the bay, so let's go ahead and get turned east. As you can see, I've placed a compass on the railing here, making it dirt simple for me to know which way I'm facing. And there we go. We're shipping it due east. We can let these out because we're just running before the wind at the moment. Looks like we woke up to a beautiful dawn just in time. I'll have this light on for just a little bit of extra light. Still more or less running before the wind. Perfectly on course. Looks like this is going to be an amazing day. Take a hook. Attach it. All right. We've got it figured out. And I no longer need these this bridge light, by the way. 10% used in that one wasteful moment. Fish. Yeah, we'll eat it. See what kind of nutrition we get out of the deal. All right, more fish it is. Just hanging a hook off the back rail, catching my day's meal. That track was Breezy by Harris Heller, part of the Rain album, available on Stream Beats Lo-Fi, the Stream Beats Lo-Fi playlist on Spotify. Take a quick pilotage look. Still pretty much headed east. I'm going to go ahead and do a slight course correct here. Double check with my compass, yep. And Gold Rock City is still essentially due west of us. So on this map, we are still reasonably sure that we are along the 31st parallel line at the bottom of the map, headed to the east towards Dragon Cliffs. As long as we maintain between that 31st and 32nd parallel, we will see the islands come into view ahead of us once we get there. And if we recall, we started seeing the beacon of Oasis right about the time that Gold Rock City was completely out of view. So depending on the height of the thing that we can see, we'll likely see, well, Dragon Cliffs itself, maybe one of the small islands at about somewhere between -3 and 3 and 4 longitude. Unfortunately, we don't have any reliable way to measure that because we don't have a chronometer, nor do we have a chronocompass. So we'll just have to deal with the fact that we're going to basically be navigating by using our latitude and dead reckoning. We're on day 42 of our career. We departed day 39, or no. We departed day 40. So we've been on this trip 2 days. And we're still running before the wind. Oh no, yes, we're still running before the wind pretty much. But it's getting to be a stormy day, so I don't know if we'll get a chance to outrun the storm or not. I don't think we need those lanterns anymore. Oh, this one can still be useful. until the sun comes up proper. Means we're dealing with big waves. But running before the wind like we are, we're not going to get too much of a problem with that. One thing I do want to check behind us is there is no sight of Gold Rock City. So as weather and other conditions allow, we will be starting to take our latitude readings. And it's exactly a day like today. And I'm glad I have extra food on my person. Okay, this wind is starting to get at a pretty it's a pretty extreme angle because we're getting pushed off course, that's why. So we've been turning windward, which tells me the rear sail has been catching too much wind and steering us off course. That in combination with the waves, probably. So I'm going to go ahead and reef this sail a little bit since I can't let out the sheet winch anymore. But I can reef this sail to alleviate some of that rearward pressure. All we can really hope for at this point is to just keep sailing on and for the storm to blow over and for us to not sink along the way, I guess. Reefing that sail will make a big difference. Also making sure that we're running without getting too far off course, running straight downwind, running before the wind, so that we tend not to tip over that much. What I may just go ahead and do is turn us hard to port to get us really running before the wind and then course correct later until the storm blows over. There's some very large waves. With this setup and this wind strength right now, we are hauling it before the wind, though. I imagine the other ships are a little faster, the brig in particular. Thanks for all your comments and terminology guidance like this info from Kayuchi. The hold is the lowest area of the ship, but the deck you're referring to on the Sanbuq would likely be the weather deck, as it's exposed to the weather. Thanks, Kayuchi. That track was Field Harvesting, part of the Quest album, available on the Stream Beats Lo-Fi playlist by Harris Heller. And it looks like the storm is rolling off fore and starboard for us. Let's take a peek at down below, see how much water we've taken on, if any. Cargo hold is clear of any water accumulation. So the Sanbuq has done its job admirably. I need to change course a little bit because I've headed north more than I wanted to, and we're not going to be able to take a sighting on any navigation until the storm passes. But as far as controllability and survivability, the best thing to do in this case was just to run before the wind until the storm gets good and by us. There's no gold rock city to be found anywhere on the horizon. We're out in the open ocean. We are coming up on evening time and the stars are out. So we're going to go ahead and take an astronomical reading. It'd be kind of handy if I could see past this mast. There we go. So here is the Northern Horn. The North Star is that one right there. I'm going to put it right underneath my dot pretty much, and then take a reading. So I'm reading that as 31 or 32 degrees, which maps to where we should be. So we didn't actually head too much further north than I was concerned about. But because we're still in some big waves, I am going to actually turn just a scooch towards the south to ease up pressure on these sails. Happy dawn, sim gamers. Point the bow directly at the sun, basically. Check our wind. Oh, we're running before the wind again. Hey, okay. I'm actually going to get myself set up to turn this rear, the mizzen mast sheet winch. I want to pull the mizzen mast sail through. And yes, I looked it up. So if you commented below, thank you. But I looked it up. In a 2-ship rig where the back mast is shorter than the front mast, the front one is considered the main mast or the mainsail, and this is the mizzen mast back here. I don't need that light. It looks like we've pulled it through the wind, so we'll let that go. Once again, because oops. I want to go this way. Didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. Sails do cast wind shadows, so I want this sail, the mizzen mast, to flip the other direction, so that I have the most yardage exposed to the wind. So I'm watching for, I can kind of barely see the sail through here, but that line back there will flip over if I've done this right. No, I've turned the wrong way again. See, I keep getting this backwards. The direction I need to be turned is that way. Got some good-sized rolling waves here. A decent amount of wind. It's got the wheel locked to port right now. As soon as this mast flips his wind to the other side, there we go. We'll let it out. All right, let's get ourselves running before this wind. Basically, we want to go straight downwind. It looks like the wind is pulling us due east, which is fantastic. All right, sim gamers, let's give a check over here. Current wind position is approximately broad reach. I went ahead and turned the mainsail over to do a better job dealing with that broad reach wind. And we're coming up on noon here pretty soon, so we can actually take this observation. In fact, oh, we are on the money. It's kind of hard to see with that number there, so we'll wait till the shadow passes by the 0 of the 30 to give us an accurate reading of what our latitude is. And I mean, if the middle line there between 30 and 40 is 35, so halfway between there would be 32 and a half. This basically puts us right on the money between 31 and 32 latitude. 31 and 32 latitude, still heading due east. That puts us somewhere along this 31 degree line. Doesn't look like the water usually, like each region has a characteristic sort of water color. And the water here hasn't changed color, so I wouldn't say we're past longitude 0 yet. But I'm not overly concerned. Now, with this light weather, wind configuration's okay. In fact, we can get a little more speed out of this thing, probably. If we pull in a few pegs worth of each of our sheets. Let's catch some fish. Yeet! Wait, that's a hookless line. All right. Let's pull it back in and get ourselves a hook. We dealt with that storm. It didn't put us too far off course, even though we had to go kind of northeast or northeast actually for a little bit to just run before the wind to get out of the storm quickly. However, during that time, we weren't able to actually catch any fish because we were just dealing with sailing the vessel. It's kind of like the, very similar to the priorities of actual flying. Basically, the priorities are in this order: aviate, navigate, communicate. In this case, for sailing, the priorities are sail the vessel, then navigate, and in this case, we don't have communication, so maybe sail the vessel, take care of your nutritional needs, and then navigate, time allowing. So, hook attached, fling it. I'm just awful at flinging that fishing line out there. Just awful. Caught something on the hook. In this type of weather and waves, I'm confident my ship is just going to handle itself. When we caught ourselves a yummy something, I'm going to go ahead and just throw my line, drop the rod, and eat this. Do a quick check on the old compass bearing. And work on bringing in our next meal. Get rid of that mooring line. We're still not playing on the beta patch. Get rid of this mooring line. Hopefully we're turning enough. If we're not, we can give a little shove to help it along. And we are just clear of my dhow, the previous boat that I've had. And we did run into it a little bit. And we're sinking. Awesome. Down she goes.